Welcome back, Ute fans, to another catch-up edition with Utah Lacrosse head coach Brian Holman. Coach, you guys had another battle against Air Force. It's a budding rivalry, if you want to call it. You guys went to OT. What were your thoughts on that game after getting some time to look over the film?
Yeah. I like the whole rivalry thing. We've played 3 times, and we've played 3 one-goal games, and they've gotten us twice. So just great respect again for the academy, and I think this is going to be great for the conference moving forward. So that's a huge plus. The game itself, John. I mean, honestly, we had our shots, right? And we went up 2 goals there in the fourth quarter. I really felt like we had the momentum. But they made some really, really good lacrosse plays. When you watch the film, we gave them some cracks, but they took advantage of every single crack that we gave them. A couple on defense, and that's just the way those games are going to be, man. But I'm just really proud of the guys. We spoke this week about our objective of being a really good one-goal team, because that's really what this is going to come down to. Most of these games are going to be one-goal games. And I heard this quote a long time ago. I don't know who said it, but to win those games, you have to be in those games, right? So we're making strides. A lot of our games are coming down to one goal. 3 of our last 4 games have been one-goal games. Now we haven't won any of them. So it's what we learn from it, and how do we put it to use this week in practice, and then continue to get better. So proud of the guys. All we always ask for is their maximum effort. That's one of our 5 rules of engagement on game day, and they gave it. So it was a heck of a game.
I think, if I remember correctly, it was a pretty clean game. There weren't too many penalties. What were some things that your team's improved on in that game that you liked moving forward?
Yeah, you hit one of the nails on the head. I think we were 3 for 3 on man up on our power play. I think we're in the top 5-6 schools in the country on that, and that's a critical piece of our offense. With a young team, you got to take advantage of those situations. Our clearing game was spot on. I think we had 1 fail clear, and for the most part, defensively, we played a real clean game. And like I said, just a couple of missteps here and there. And normally teams don't take advantage of every one of them, and Air Force did. So when you watch the film, you got to tip your cap, man. We step one way and they step another, and they bang a shot right into the corner. The kid that scores the game-winning goal is sweeping across the middle at about 14 yards, and the bounce shot could not have been, if he walked it up there and stuck it in the goal by himself with his hand, it couldn't have been placed any better. So, sometimes you got to tip your hat, right, to your opponent. But I thought all in all we played well. The one area we didn't play well in that I think really hurt us in the game is our transition game. We were 0 for 5, 0 for 4 in really good opportunities. Normally, we're about 50% and maybe higher. We spent a lot of time on transition. So that was the one area that hurt us in that game that we've been pretty good at so far. So.
All right, looking at this week, you're playing Loyola. They're ranked number 11 this week. You played Denver, who was 5th in the preseason poll, and then now you have another ranked team. Now you kind of get a test, like, here's how we did against a team like Denver. How are we going to play against Loyola 4 games in?
Yeah, good question. And that's what we'll find out on Saturday. I know we're preparing well. Practice yesterday was really crisp and sharp, and the guys are energized, and that's all I really care about, right? 4th round of the Road Warriors here. We're going cross country again, and our practice yesterday was very similar to practice on January 6th or 7th when we first started this thing. So that's all I can ask for is them being energized and happy to be on a lacrosse field. Be willing to try to clean up some of our mistakes and just continuing to hone in on the things that we do well. And then we'll get there Saturday. We put a good week of practice in, and we'll go up against a team that we have, our staff and I have a tremendous respect for. I see Loyola as a team like we want to be like in 2 or 3 or 4 years, and I think we're on the verge of in that direction. You know, they're kind of a blue collar lunch pail. Their coach is a really energetic, fiery guy. Great lacrosse coach. I know their staff really well. Coach Van Arsdale, their offensive coach, was at Virginia for a long time. He coached Adam when he was there, and Matt Dwan actually worked for me millions of years ago, right out of college, and his brother Billy I coached at Hopkins. So there's a lot of ties there. So we're really looking forward to it, and you know, it's a program. There's only been 3 schools in the last I don't know how many years that have broken in and won a national championship outside of the power schools of Carolinas and Virginias and Dukes and Cornells and Princetons of the world, Syracuse and Hopkins. Loyola is one of them, and so we you know, we want to be on that same trajectory that their program has been on over the last 10 to 15 years since Charlie's gotten there. So it's going to be a great test for us, and we'll be excited for it.
I think I've asked you this every week, but what do you want to see from your team take the next step for this week heading into the game?
I think we're doing it, John. Honestly, I see guys growing all the time. You know, I see sophomores who are really freshmen in my eyes, looking older on the lacrosse field. A Josh Rose and a Cole Brahms and a Tyler Bradbury. My gracious, and you know me, I don't like to single out people, but it's hard not to at this point, right? And then I see our junior class starting to act like seniors, like almost, because they've been through the ringer here a little bit, and their leadership has been phenomenal. Our juniors and seniors. So this week was huge. They were pissed. Excuse my language. On they felt like they should have won a game on Saturday, and that's growth, right? 2 years ago or a year ago, we just were patted on the head saying, "Good job, man! You're nice little boys, and you're hanging in there with some of these guys." And now our guys are getting upset, like, "No. We're better than that." And so there's growth. There's growth in our staff. This is a different year and a different team, and I think we've handled it really, really well up to this point. So I see it. It's all right in front of us. I just excited to go out to the practice field in an hour with these guys and put the work in that you have to. We talked yesterday about just chipping away at the rock, right? There's a lot of poems, and there's a lot of old sayings about the rock carver, right? He just keeps carving and chipping and chipping and chipping and chipping, and all of a sudden the rock kind of goes where he wants it to go, and you don't know whether it was the first blow or the 3,000 blows that did it, and that's where I think we are as a program. We're just chipping away, man, and so I see the growth. I feel it from the guys. I think they feel it. So that we're really happy where we are right now.
You kind of talk about all that, and it kind of brings me to culture. And is that the direction that you've wanted your program to be?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like when you talk culture, because everybody uses that term now, and there's so many ways of defining what your culture is in a program. Ours are based off of our pillars, and I won't go into that, in detail, but it's just based off of a work ethic and an ability to adapt and an ability to keep pushing forward. I just, if I could leave anything for our guys, I just want them to leave here knowing that, whatever it is in your life that's in front of you, if it's good, just keep going. If it's not so good, just keep going, right? And it's just like sports, Some people say, "Oh, geez, you should have won, 2 games and you'd be 3-0 in a negative vein." And I'd say, "Oh, geez, we're 1-2, and we've learned a tremendous amount about ourselves and our team." So I don't really look. I'm a glass half full kind of guy, but I'm not a dreamer. I'm a realist, and I want our guys to be real. We are who we are. Your record says you're 1-2. That's who we are, right? But I think the culture that we've established is one of that. It's just keep working, keep falling in love with your craft. If there's issues, figure out what they are and fix them, right? And there's always a way to do that. Don't dwell on the negative. Don't I call it wallowing in the mire. Our guys laugh at that because our guys are so young. They have no idea what I'm talking about. But just put that smile on your face and keep plowing. The sun comes up, man, every day. When we got back here from Air Force, we had a layover in the airport for 3.5 hours in Denver's airport. And our guys were playing cards. They were playing this game Mafia that they play, and they were in 2 or 3 different groups, and they were having a blast. I sent them a text the next day. That was the most glorious part of the whole trip. Okay, we handled that. We were upset, but that doesn't define who you are, winning or losing a lacrosse game. And you can always have the ability to define who you are as a person by your attitude and how you move forward through things. So, that's a part of our culture, but I think that's an important piece of it right now. And so yeah.
All right, last question for you. Saturday's game. What can fans expect, and what are you looking forward to?
I think it's going to be cool. We're going to Baltimore. One of the hotbeds of lacrosse. Lori and I raised our family there. We were embedded in that city for a long time. We both went to college there, and our kids went to high schools there, and so it's like a homecoming, and that makes me feel good. I wish we could spend more time. We're flying in. We get in there at 6 at Friday night, and we play an 11:30 game, and we're flying out right after. So, I wish we could have more time to spend with family and have our guys be able to kind of soak in some of the culture of Baltimore. But I think that's going to be fun. Loyola's got a great stadium. I'm so sad that they don't have. They usually pack their stadium. They usually get 3,000-4,000 people in their little lacrosse stadium. So that, I'm going to be sad about that. But it's just an incredible challenge for us. 4th round of our Road Warriors. We're going 2,000 miles in less than 24 hours to play a 10th or 11th ranked team in the country. How do we handle that, man? All right? And again, it's not going to come down to wins and losses. It's going to come down to stepping foot on the field and put forth your best effort and battle. And they're a team like ours. It's blue collar. So I think it's going to be pretty gritty. I'm not sure it's going to be the prettiest lacrosse game in the world. They're definitely more skilled and have higher recruited players than us, and they're really well coached. So I think if we can turn it into our kind of game and muck it up with them a little bit. It's supposed to be rainy and 50, which is perfect. It's going to be great, man. And I'm encouraging our guys to embrace it that way. We have another shot to go up against one of the better programs in the country. And who are we now? Who are we going to be this week? So excited.
All righty. Thanks again, Coach. We'll look forward to watching you guys on ESPN Plus on Saturday at 9:30 Mountain.
Fired up, man. Road Warriors. Round 4, John. Go Utes.